So to achieve his objectives, he needs to make them SMART related. So that's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time specific. So firstly, for his movement, specific would be having regular training sessions where he cones off an area where he's only allowed to move. So he's focusing just on his movement and where he can go on the court. They need to be measurable, so he could record the session to see how his movement's changing, maybe see for improvements in that. Um, but recording it makes it measurable, so he can maybe compare the first week to the last week or something like that. Achievable. His target needs to be how many weeks he wants to achieve it in, but it needs to be realistic. Realistic goal. So if it's out of his reach, he could extend how many weeks he wants to do it in, and then time specific. So, for example, 4 weeks of two training sessions a week, um, with doing the coning off the area, and then hopefully he has a target or a time to get used to it and yeah get good at it. Yeah. So for 6.2, the box out technique is to have a smart target. So the specific is doing the box out with a friend or mannequin. So it's specific to the box out rebound technique. Then it needs to be measurable. So again, he could record it, and or maybe even yeah, or record it and then see how high he's jumping, and compare again the earlier weeks with the later weeks to see how much difference it's making. It needs to be achievable again, so making a target for how many weeks it's going to take him to achieve it. Um, and then realistic, it needs to be within his ability of how many weeks it will take him. And then time specific, so he could do this in 2 weeks, just doing it twice a day with a friend or maybe a brother. Um, yeah, just to give him a target to reach for the 2 weeks, and then he'll be more motivated to do it with someone. And then finally, from the data we got, he needs to improve his time in air. So doing plyometrics needs to be smart orientated. So plyometrics need to be about him jumping as high as he can, rather than maybe in a direction, for example. So and not off 1 foot. He wants to be jumping off two. So yeah, specific to basketball, he needs to do plyometrics, regard which are used for the box out rebound technique. Needs to be measurable. So again, he could um, measure how high he's jumping, in terms of with the plyometrics to see how he's progressing and how higher he's jumping each time. And then achievable. He needs to set a realistic target of what he wants to achieve. So how high he wants to jump. For example, he might want to jump up to a meter or something like that. Um, and then realistic. Obviously, that target can't be out of his grasp. So yeah, and then time specific. He will set a target amount of time that he wants to be doing plyometrics for, and then he can be motivated to do it within that time period. So yeah, he needs to be motivated to do the plyometrics, and progress and get higher at jumping. So then overall, he can improve his time in the air.